Hey guys, Romie here, so please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for Scandal, Season 6, Episode 6, Extinction. Look guys, I have to tell you this right now. This episode was better just off the strength of it wasn't about Jake. I mean, if you're a Scandal watcher, you understand what I'm talking about. Now, it starts off with... This is a Papa Pope episode, so it's instantly better, but still, I'm still trying to figure out, so we're not going into the saving people situation anymore. That's what the show was originally based on. Now we're on this tip of, it's almost like every person for themselves, and I'm like, oh, okay, if this is what we have to do for Season 6, whatever. This election hasn't been going on far long enough, and the fallout from this election, but I get it, it's supposed to be a huge, ground-shaking thing, so if this is what Season 6 is going to be all about, anyway, it starts off with Papa Pope. He's getting ready for the day. He's doing this push-ups, he actually gets this toy, dinosaur, and he goes to this lecture, and he apparently knows the person who was in charge of the lecture, and it was his old friend, his ex-girlfriend. They used to, go on excavations, studies and site visits, and they got really close. They got really close, and because she was teaching this lecture on, dinosaurs. What was it? The Tyrannosaurus Rex, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and her name was Sandra. Poor Sandra. So Sandra, as you see, that little twinkle in her eye, a little twinkle in Eli's eye, she talks about how she has this new building that she gets to go and do her studies in, and Papa Pope's so excited. He's so thrilled. So he's going like a kid in the candy store. He's going all around it. And she essentially says, you know what? I need a partner. And he's like, I'm thrilled to do it. I'm thinking, oh, this is all well and good. This is so happy. This is the first time we see Olivia. This was at the phase where Olivia had to make the decision of if she's going to break up Millie and Marcus. Papa Pope is the one who told her to break up Millie and Marcus. He was the one, again, who told her, you know what? You need to go and do what's best. Do you want to win the election, or do you want to make someone happy? Do you want to make yourself happy, or do you want to make Millie happy? It's essentially the line of questioning he was going with. What ends up happening is, as we know, she got Millie to break up with Marcus by manipulating her. Papa Pope, he's at his new job. He's so excited because he's at work. He's doing what he really loves to do. I feel like this is his true calling, what he really likes. Side note, I did catch that woman, the woman who's like, I'm here to help if you need anything. She's the same woman that we saw last week that Papa Pope seemed nervous about because she had him doing some weird side stuff. Now, we see Sandra. She comes and she's like, is everything going well? Is everything good? Great. Like I said, the last person we see before things take a turn is that woman who we know isn't on the side of good. Another person who I said, wait a minute, he looks really familiar. His actual name is Adam. Now, he was the fall guy. If you guys don't remember, he was the fall guy that they tried to say, oh, he was the one who actually killed Frankie, but he didn't do it. We know he didn't do it. At the time, though, he was still working under... He was essentially like Papa Pope's original Huck or Jake. So now it's an Adam. Adam, is working with Papa Pope because they need to figure out, okay, what's the name game plan? How are they going to go and make sure that Olivia wins this election? They're going to go and rig the election. But before they do all of that, like I said, Papa Pope, while he's at his job, he realizes that something is wrong. He sees that there's these cameras spying on him. So now he's going to go to Olivia to see, okay, does she have that similar setup? Is she also being framed? Maybe is she involved with it? It's like, what's going on here? So that's what he's telling Adam. We need to stay vigilant. We need to keep a watch out for her. We need to keep a watch out for me. So there's someone spying on me. He goes to Olivia. He lies about, oh, he needs certain music because the people at his shop, they're young and they don't understand good music. While she goes and tries to get the record, mind you, I'm still trying to figure out how did their relationship get mended. So mended that they're going to each other's houses, asking for advice, general chit-chat. I said, wait a minute, this is a man you just tried to kill, what, 2 seasons ago, Olivia? And he's because he loves his daughter so much. Like, oh, that's water under the bridge. If you didn't attempt to kill me once, I wouldn't respect you. Is that how it goes in the Pope family? Now, he's looking around. He doesn't see anything. He sees that there's this car parked outside, and he realizes, now, wait a minute now. What car is that? She said, Secret Service, Dad, I'm fine. Go. You can leave. Thank you. I have to, go over this stuff with Millie. Papa Pope, he goes and, he romances Sandra, and they go and kiss and embrace. They talk about the old days and how, he chose the wrong person at the end of the day. He should have been there with her. I'm thinking, this is all well and good, and this is cute, but there's something off with this. So Eli, like I said, he's romancing the pants off of her. And I see that he genuinely does love her, and it's so weird. So he's slowly backing her up into the closet. I'm thinking, I guess because technically it is work, so even though it's after hours, he figures, alright, let's go in the closet, and let's see if we're a little freaky. At least that's what Sandra's thinking. Nope! That's where the cameras aren't! So he knows that he's being watched. I think they figure out, okay, I think we know he knows, but for right now we're going to keep it status quo and not jump in there. And that's where we see the person who again was working as one of his helpers, as one of his assistants, was actually there in this black office, spying on him. He goes and yokes up Sandra, like, who are you working for? What are you doing? Why are you spying on me? What are you doing? What's going on? And he took that gun out and said, I'm giving you one more chance. Tell me the truth. What are you doing? Who are they? She said, I don't know. Who are they? I don't know. Who are they? I don't know. So she's acknowledging that there is a they. Well, she's saying she doesn't know. They came, they threatened her, and they said that they wanted him. So he looked at her long and hard and realized, all right, I'm going to let you live. Only because I know you're telling the truth. It was messed up, but that whole I'm going to kill you type of thing, I said, great. Great, because this is the Papa Pope I expected. He goes outside of the, what is it called? Outside of that closet, and he's waving the gun around like, excuse me, I know you're spying on me, so you might as well come out now, or I can make things very difficult for you. So as we see, again, there was the woman who was his so-called assistant. That was the same woman that essentially threatened him last episode. And this other guy. Actually, there was 3 people. And Papa Pope was saying, oh, okay, so I see how this works. So he thought this older man who was sitting down, he thought, okay, maybe he was in charge. He's like, so you go and you bug the office, and what is your actual goal? What is your actual motive? And this reminds me of Hydra. This reminds me of some Hydra mess. Because at the end of the day, I'm looking at him like, wait a minute. The guy who was originally sitting down, he was a little bit older than the guy standing up, or at least looked that way. He got shot in the head because he said, oh, so you think by threatening him, you think he's the boss. No. I shot him. Now I'm the boss. Like I said, we're like Hydra. You cut one of us off, 2 more pop up in this place. And he said, here's how this works. We know your weak spot. We weren't sure that you have one. We respect everything that you've done, all the conniving that you've done, all the ways that you've gotten out of sticky situations, and we need your services. And if I refuse, which I do, well, we know your weak spot. Oh, Miss Sandra, we have her in the palm of our hands. You can't really protect her from us. You can't really protect her from us. And so then Papa Pope finds out what he needs to do. They tell him, we need your daughter, Olivia, to make sure that Millie wins. That's what we need to ensure. So then Eli shook. He never looks shook. Eli's talking to with Sandra, and she's trying to figure out, okay, so who is this? Who is they? Who was that person? Who was that person? There were people that were trying to hurt you, try to kill. No. Who was the person that tried to shoot and kill me in that closet? Because I don't know that person. I don't know that person. That person is a stranger. What is going on, Eli? You know that I work for the government. Yes. And there are a lot of things that I had to do that you have no idea I had to do. I love you, and I want to protect you. So I'm going to do that if you let me protect you. So then they kiss, and they embrace, and they actually have sex. And Eli, he looks happy. He looks happy. So now, like I said, now it's time for him to go to work. They have to figure out how can they ensure that Millie wins the election. So what are they going to do? They're going to go and rig the voting machines. By rigging the voting machines in San Bernardino, because Olivia, she came over and she talked about how, I don't understand how Millie, she's from there. How is it that she may possibly lose there? It doesn't make any sense. So that gave Papa Pope the idea, you know what, if we rig those machines, then Millie will win. It will be secured. Olivia will be safe. I will be safe. And it was funny, because Olivia actually found out what Papa Pope was doing. And she put a stop to it. She used Huck and said, you know what? You have such little confidence in me. I want to run this clean. I want to run this clean. Papa Pope said, do you want to run this race or do you want to win? Because at the end of the day, if you want to win, then I will help you. If you don't want to win, then you can do whatever you want. You can go, Olivia, what is wrong with you? And I'm thinking, Olivia, the fact that your father's doing all of this and he's not trying to do some weird Jedi mind trick and is pretty blunt with this, you should be saying something is wrong here. But instead of you saying, okay, something is wrong here, you're just like, oh, you don't believe in me, you don't believe in my success. Girl, this isn't about you, this is about saving your life. This is about saving your life. I understand you don't know that, but that's the whole situation at hand. As a result, now we have Papa Pope trying to figure out, okay, Sandra, you need to go. You need to go to, well, Caraco. You need to go, no, to Zanzibar. That's where you need to go. You need to go where they can't find you. Take this money, take this burner phone, you need to leave. She said, no, you said you're going to protect me, right? Okay, then protect me. You love me, right? Yes? Then you're going to protect me, you're going to love me. And, like I said, things aren't going so well. Because Papa Pope now has to decide, this is getting crazy. We are running into complications. I'm going to tell you with the next instructions, but you need to follow them explicitly. Now, the woman, she goes there and she threatens Papa Pope and lets him know that, here's how this works. You think that your services are just so invaluable, that you're so inexpendable? Well, you're wrong. We are going to go and kill Sandra. We're going to do it. No problems. We have eyes on her. We have eyes on Olivia. So you're going to go and make sure that Millie wins. What do you mean? Mellie needs to win. What does that mean if Mellie needs to win? How could she possibly win without any competition? You want me to kill Vargas? No. Well, that's part of it, but that's not enough. But then Cyrus would become the vice president, would become the president. So you want me to frame Cyrus by saying that he was the one that killed Vargas? Really? Really? Well, if that means protecting who I love, then I guess that's what I'll have to do. Now, Adam, he's given his new documents and told, you know, it was a pleasure working with you, because now he's going to be, he's getting the new cover. He's going to be the guy who was supposed to be the shooter. And so this is how this all came about. Eli's losing his hitman, and it sucks for him, but I'm like, dang, Eli, it must be bad if you're willing to sacrifice your ace. And that's also why you want Jake back. That's also why you wanted Jake back. You wanted Jake back so that he can go and take the place of the hitman that you're losing. See, it's all coming together now. So while it was election night, and Millie's just like, okay, so are the numbers in? No, not yet. While all of that was going on, Jake was, you know, being messaged by Eli. So that's why Eli wanted Jake to message him. Yeah, and to come downstairs. Along with that, Cyrus already is in trouble for, you know, Thomas going and setting it up where Jennifer would go and, you know, try to quit due to her being beat up by Thomas. Now, so you followed all of that, right? Okay. Now it's time for Frankie. He found out he won. We have Eli. He goes, he sneaks into this drain, into like these tunnels in these back ways. While he's doing all of that, he's going, he takes out one of the Secret Service, and he's able to get into, I mean, he's crawling. Like, Eli's fit. Eli is fit. He's ready to go, and he's also packing some weapons. He goes and screws out the little man cover that was right below, or technically right in front of Frankie. He replaces it with something where he can go and shoot Frankie. We had Thomas with the sniper gun ready. And Eli, while Frankie is giving his speech, he realizes, dang, this is a good man. Because he didn't want to do it from the start. So he's like, dang, this is a good man. I don't even really want to do this. I just want to go and, be an archaeologist and play with the dinosaurs, the dinosaur bones. That's all I really want to do. And, have a daughter that actually loves me and likes to have me around. That's all I really want. And so for a moment, he stops. So he doesn't shoot Frankie at first. But then he realizes, Lord Jesus, because he loses his opportunity because Frankie backs away. Frankie comes back. And that's when Eli said, he was just like, Lord help me. Shoots Frankie in the head. Adam goes and also shoots so that it could look like it was just a regular sniper, and that's how he was possibly could have been shot like that. Lord Jesus. So Papa Pope killed Frankie Vargas, as if we were surprised. And now it's time for Adam to go and hide out in some shed 1 mile away. So not too far for the Secret Service not to be able to find him quickly, but far enough to make it feel like, okay, so he was definitely just trying to hide out. Papa Pope looked like, Lord Jesus, did this really happen to me? He gets out, the police stop him, but then Adam was there, not that the police, man. And Adam was told, now it's your turn. Now you have to be the fall guy. It was a pleasure working with you. This is where Fritz was just like, oh my gosh. And I'm thinking, oh wow, there are other people there too, aren't there? Because this flashback was mainly comprised of Olivia, these new people, and Fitz. And Papa Pope. And so Papa Pope, he came back to his office, and we had the guys already there. They're like, oh, good job, good job. And Papa Pope was the one who had, who had Jake, quote unquote, kill Jennifer. Because he was the one who paid off Jennifer, since Jennifer, of course, was scorned from the fact that she got beat up by Cyrus. So she was happy to make the call and say, Cyrus Bean killed Frankie Vargas. That's how that all came about. Now, Eli is irritated, irked, and hurt that he had to do that to a good man. And so everyone there was like, the people above him or so were talking about how, well, that was great, but your services aren't done yet. We've realized that you are a great tool, a great asset. I said, you know what, I've been watching Underground, and yes, I do the reviews for Underground this season. I've been last month was Black History Month, all this, watching the Khalif Brown story, just being more woke than ever. When he said tool, or whatever that was close to that, I said, now, Papa Pope, I know you. Go off. And he did. He did not disappoint. He said, oh, so you the master now? Oh, you're a good master, you're a good master, you're a good master. Ooh, child. Why not go and just do your big master? Why don't I just go and do it? Why don't you do it? Oh, I'm a good old boy. I'm a good old boy. You want me to be a good old boy? I said, I'm not mad, because I was thinking the same thing. Excuse me? They said, no, we know your weak spot. Weak spot? Yeah, Sandra. It was like, I did what you wanted me to do. I am leaving. I said, Papa Pope, it's never that easy. So then, like I said, Olivia was already mad at him because she's like, oh, you were supposed to believe in me. You had to go and try to rig the election for me because you didn't think I could win. I'm thinking, Olivia, you need to stop. Now you're starting to irk me. You are so blind most of the time. What is wrong with you? And so, flashback to Papa Pope. He said, so you think Sandra, so you want to control me? Boom! Shot her dead in the face. Dead in the forehead. Gone. He said, so who are you trying to control now? Now, for a moment, they looked kind of shook, like, did not see that one coming? Because he loved that woman. He loved that woman. They said, well, we know someone else you love even more. And the woman was like, excuse me. Yeah, so do you see Olivia Pope? Yeah, okay. So that's my guy right there. He's a shooter ready to go to take out your daughter at any moment if you don't do as we say. So it's either you continue to be defiant, or he took the phone and hung up. And it's like, oh, okay, so you're with us. Cool. Olivia, she comes back and she's like, you, how dare you kill Frankie? You were the one who did it. Yes, he did. But there was he's done bad, and because he's done bad, it's caught up with him, and now his daughter's at risk, so he did anything and everything that he needed to make sure that you were good. So be quiet. So that's when he goes and gives her that speech of, excuse me? You're supposed to be smart, right? There's someone there who wants it more than you. Cyrus. Cyrus Bean killed Frankie Vargas. He did it. You need to get over the fact you need to stop living in this world where everyone's so nice and everyone's so precious and everyone's so perfect. You need to see the forest through the trees and understand that there are bigger things than you. There are bigger situations. People aren't just monsters. I am not a monster. You think that I killed Frankie. You think that I was just the main... No. It was Cyrus. It wasn't me. I am not a monster, Olivia. I am your father. I said, oh, okay, that's a line of the show. I don't think he even said it like that. So I'm saying it for him. And that was interesting because of the fact that he was doing all of that to get her off his tail. And, you know, he just felt so bad and so hurt. Because he's trying to say, even though I do bad things, and yeah, I'm not necessarily a good person. I'm not a 100% monster. I have feelings. Now, in the back, he still had Sandra's body, and he was crying, and I'm thinking, isn't the place still bugged? So that was pretty much it. Next week's going to be some foolishness, because she's going to go and have her father killed. She's going to go and have her father killed, and she's going to use Huck to do it. I said, Olivia, now you're really starting to irritate me. You were doing too much before, but now, ugh. So that was it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Come back.